people, Christmas is coming. I hope you like my hoodie with the ears. So anyway, I've got some questions and ask me about, if you haven't finished your Christmas list, or, do you have anything to buy for your friends who have been like learning to read Thais, or, like any books that are my favorite, or like what kind of books I like to read to practice like English and Chinese and then Thai. And so I'll give you some of my favorite books. I don't have like all of my favorite books here in Taiwan with me. Like most of them are back in Bangkok at home. But I do have some books that I've been reading for like more than 10 times and I still love it. So I bring it here with me. Sometimes uni is hard and, you just want like a day off and read your favorite books. So that's what I do. I love reading, and people who know me all know that I love reading so much. So I'll go through all of my books that I think, will help you to practice your Thai. Some of them are in English, but I'm so sure that you can find them in Thai version. So that will help you as well. If you're stuck, at some point, you can just go back and read the English version. So why not? Okay, so the very first one is กล่องไปรษณีย์สีแดง And what's so special about this book is when you flip to the other side, then you have another book. It's called เพื่อนสนิท So กล่องไปรษณีย์สีแดง is actually, it's like, if you look at the book, oh, it's beautiful. It has like lots of beautiful paintings, you see? And it's like a guy writing a postcard to his friend. And yeah, like the stories go on and he tells her what's happened and things like that. But oh my god, I love this story so much. I don't want to spoil you guys. I just want you guys to go and read it. And เพื่อนสนิท okay, this side, it's actually from a movie. So if you look at the way they write here, it will be like, a script, like who say what, do what, and when, and why, and how, something like that. So it's like a script. So if you don't really get what เพื่อนสนิท trying to, tell you from the book, you can just go on and download or just watch the movie online. And with the same name, it's called เพื่อนสนิท as well. That's also one of my favorite movies. I watched it since I was in secondary school, but still, I still like it a lot. And my other favorite is The Little Prince, and this is the Chinese version actually. But I read it for the first time in English version, and then I went on and bought a Thai version. But I have a friend, so I already gave my friend like the Thai version of The Little Prince. We call it เจ้าชายน้อย Yeah. And now I have the Chinese version that my friend gave me on my birthday because like I love Little Prince so much. It's just like, Little Prince is so famous. Everybody knows that Little Prince. It's just amazing. I love the book. I love everything about Little Prince. Apart from the movie, like the movie with the same name, I think it's called Little Prince as well. It's like the adaptation of the little book. I like the Little Prince, like the book, and I don't like the movie. Anyway, so if you guys are into that, you can go and read the Thai version of The Little Prince because I don't think it's that difficult to understand, and it's so meaningful and you will learn so much from the book. And personally, I think it's so romantic. I just love Little Prince. And okay, I have another book in Thai, so I'll just go through the book that I have in Thai first. Okay, and this one, เราจะข้ามเวลามาพบกัน Only Love is Real. You know what? I've been looking for this book for forever. Like, I heard about this book for the first time when I was in primary school, but I got to read it for the very first time when I was in my second year. And everybody who knows me, like, always know that if somebody asks me what book that I want to read, I always mention this book. The thing is, before I'm like a very low technology person, so I never really had like credit card or anything. So I never really know how to like buying things online, and like my family always teach me like don't buy things online, it's very dangerous and things like that. So that's how I grew up. So when I was in high school, I didn't really want to buy anything online, and I don't know, I just like got freaked out and things. So I keep asking like my friends, do you have it? And I just want to borrow them. And so on my birthday again, like one of my friends said that she saw it on a second-hand bookshop, so she bought it and sent it to me from Thailand to Taiwan. And I've been reading this book for like I don't know how many times. It's like so beautiful. And actually from the doctor called Dr. Brian L. Weiss, he was a psychiatrist, I think, or like a doctor. I think he's a psychiatrist. Oh, there's a note inside. Yeah, from my friend. You see? Oh, I'm lucky. What does he say? If this reaches you safely, it means that my Chinese is readable. Enjoy the book. Love. Yeah, because I gave my friends my address in Taiwan, so I wrote everything in Chinese. So yeah. And this book is like really, really good. And, it will make you believe in love and everything. Like destiny and stuff. It's interesting. And another book, Anne Frank. I read it like for the first time, I think in my primary school, and then I read it again in like high school, and like this is my third version, and I got it from my friend, and my friend said like, oh, you'd be interesting. Actually, I've already read it before, but it's like since high school, so my friend gave it to me last year, so I think I'll read it again very soon. I haven't really started. I like started a couple pages, but I haven't finished it. So much to read right now, and this is also one of my favorite, The Help. You can see that I read it for so many times. It's like, oh, sorry, the book. So, The Help is really good. I think there's a Thai translation of the book as well. I'm not very sure like what they call in Thai, but you should go and check it. And if you want to give it to your friend for a Christmas present to just read and like learn about like the black people in America and like their history and their story, and I don't know, like the book is so good. Like there are some parts that can make me laugh, and like maybe 5 minutes after that I'll be like cry my heart out. I just love everything about this book. It's really, really good. And it's like they will show you different parts of characters and what they do and how they feel, and so good. And there's a movie called The Help as well, so if your friend can't understand the book, they can just go on and watch the movie first, but I still think that the book is better. Anyway, and some other books that some of the I already read it when I was in like secondary school, but I still like brought it here with me because it's fun to read again. Like The Confessions of the Shopaholic, and I think there's a Thai translation of it. So if you're like your female friends trying to learn Thai, why don't just suggest them something like this? Or if your Thai friends want to practice English, just go on and read something like this, like Confession of a Shopaholic or the Bridget Jones Diary. And I read Bridget Jones' Diary for the first time when I was in primary school. So I grew up with like Bridget Jones, watching Bridget Jones movies, and yeah, I don't know, like maybe like lots of people that I like the books and the movies, like main characters, lots of them are like they swear a lot. Like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I love something that's so appropriate, like Bridget Jones and like Sex and the Cities. I just like grew up with that kind of movies. I don't know, they're fun, and yeah. I cannot skip this. I also grew up with Nicholas Sparks. I love like watching the movies that the adaptation of the books, and I love reading the book. My favorite books of Nicholas Sparks I think it's going to be The Notebook, but I don't have it here with me because I read it so many times before, so I already put it back at home. I just like bring this instead, the lucky one, and like, man, look at him, just like, oh my god, he's so gorgeous. Anyway, the lucky one, if that's what you're into. I know that there are so many translations of Nicholas Sparks' book into Thai as well, so if that's what you're into, go for it. I actually read The Notebook in Thai, so, and I still like love it, even though like the book is very old, and sometimes I can feel that no one really say like or speak Thai that way anymore because the Notebook is very old. Like the Thai translation is very old, but still it's still beautiful. And I remember like the last few chapters I cried a lot. Like I remember I read it on my way back to Thailand, so I read it like on the bus and at the airport. I cried so much that the person next to me, like a stranger, a total stranger, just handed me tissue and asked me whether I was okay or not. It was that serious. It was like crying and reading, and it's like, ooh. Oh my god, it was so good. And yeah, this is another book that I grew up with. I grew up with Rollin Down, and I have like his books. I watched like Charlie and the Chocolate Factories, The Giant Peach, and The Witch, and I also like Matilda. Yeah, and I also like have the book of his like autobiography that like tell about his life and things like that. I just think like he has a very interesting life, and he's very inspiring, and I love his book. And I don't know, it's just, if that's what you're into, and if your friend's Thai level's not that, like not something like novels and things like this, you can start from something that children love to read. And why not? Like I love reading children's book as well. It's like, it's fun, and I've been reading it for so many times, and I bring it here with me. So, and I have some other books that, if you want to be more mature, so something like Outliers. And actually, this one is actually from my friend as well. He's a friend that I gave him my Little Prince. So we like exchanged book, and I told him that like you have to read the Little Prince. He never read it, so he said like this book is very cool. So he gave this to me, and I gave him my Little Prince, and yeah, it's cool. And also like I love reading this kind of books as well, like the Outliers or like the Free Economics, and like Mr. Know It All. Like you learn something from the book, like the brief history of all time. Something I forgot the name, but I didn't bring it with me here. And this book is so very cool, like the word hero. They tell you how to like pick up the words when you write and speak and things like that, and they write it in a way that's very interesting, and you can learn so much from it. If your friends like trying to learn English, like suggest them this book. It's like so much fun. Okay, if you want to be more mature as well, like why don't buying something like this, the Inner Engineering, by Sadhguru. I love him so much. Like you can go on and search for Sadhguru on YouTube or Google. He has like so many books and so many YouTube videos that you can learn so much from him. And he's like my guru. I just like love the way he thinks about life and his philosophy. I just love everything about it. Okay, like some other book that will help you be like mature and can learn Thai and English at the same time. Like try to find the Thai version of this book. Thinking Fast and Slow. I think they do have Thai version. And this is like very interesting. Sometimes you just have to talk about things. You have like split second to think about it, and you have to capture that moment. It makes you sound amazing and awesome and smart. So this book will help you if you looking for something like that. And Talk Like Ted. I just when I'm bored, just like when like having breakfast in my room, or it's like like waiting for friends, I have like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'll just go and watch TED on YouTube. Like there's so many like TEDx, so many TEDs videos. So you just go and look at them, and I just think this book is very interesting. Like they capture how those TED speakers talk, and how they create their PowerPoints and things like that, and like how to use like photos and informations and that kind of things. I think it's very interesting, and I love watching TED Talks. So if that what you're into as well, this book will be amazing for you. The 9 Public Speaking Secrets of the World's Top Minds. Go for it. It's gonna be like amazing Christmas present. And I have this book as well. The Small Big sorry. The Small Big is like small changes that spark big influences. I do love this kind of like reading how to, this kind of books sometimes. Like there will be like period of time. There are period of time that I love reading how to, period of time that I love like reading maybe like history, sometimes like science and things like that, sometimes like economics or politics. It really depends, but there's like a times that I really love like the small changes that spark big influences. Like I think this book is very interesting because sometimes people want to make big difference, but actually it starts from like a small things to do every day. And like when you read it, it's like, yeah, true, that makes sense, and it helps. Okay, come back to the book that I just think like it's interesting, and I love them as well. Might not be that mature, you might not learn so much from them, but it's interesting. Like this book, I actually got introduced from one of my friends. And yeah, the Rosie Project. I think there's like having movies like coming out maybe like next year, or it already came out. I don't know. I don't really watch movies. It's not my favorite things, like watching movies. I prefer reading. So this is very interesting. It's quite funny, and it's just like also about love story. Is that what you're into? And if you look for something that can be quite interesting, but you're not into something like this, then you can go on and read something like Do No Harm. And it's a story of a brain surgeon, and like how about like story of life and death, and like how he talks to the patients, and because before I decided to be a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychiatrist yet, I'm just like in my 4th year. I used to think whether like if I enter medical school, I'd probably like being a brain surgeon or maybe a psychiatrist. Like I always interested in minds and brains and how things work. And yeah, so this book is very interesting as well. Yeah, Do No Harm. And also like have some book that I think is interesting, like The Secret. I just love The Secret. I don't know, like I think, it's give me confidence, it's give me, faith that some, like I would say that I don't really believe in any religions, but I still like practice the Buddhism like ceremony because my family they are all Buddhists, and I when I go back home I still have to go to temples with them. I do what they do, and I do agree that sometimes lots of the things that Buddha teach I think is really good, and I think all religions are good. If you don't try to change people's way of living, and like if you have no problem with gays and those people, like I'm cool with you. You can be like any religious and I'm fine with that. Okay, anyway, I'm straight, like so straight, but I think it's human rights. Love is love. People should be able to love anybody that they want, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you're gay, go for it, people. I support you. Mwah. Anyway, like The Secret, I just love this book, and there's so many versions, there's so many like translation of it, like English. I think there's like almost every languages in the world have The Secret, and it's just interesting. If you haven't read this book, just go for it. It's really interesting. It would change the way you look at the world, to be honest. I have two more. This one is just so funny. You won't learn anything from this book, to be honest. It's called Let's Pretend This Never Happened. You won't learn anything, and in the book they swear a lot, like draw me a fucking dog, or what else, like don't tell your parents, what else, yeah, like I remember, like I heard, like when I read it I saw the word like motherfuckers for so many times in the book, like fuck, shit, like all the swear words you can think of, like it's all in the book already. Anyway, I'm not very sure whether there's like Thai version of it or not, but if your friend's trying to learn English and like if you're trying to learn Thai as well, like just go and buy this book for your friend. You can practice it together. It's just like a story of one person who's very, very funny. It's like she's hilarious, and then you can just go on and practice and learning and like exchange your feelings about the book and learning swear words at the same time. Why not? And my favorite Chinese book of all time is this book, 三家树之恋. I'm not very sure whether they have the English translation or not, but there's a movie with the same name, 三家树之恋. 三家树之恋. And I remember when I watched the movie for the first time, I cried so much, and it's not like The Notebook is cried like I had heartbroken. I never felt any kind of heartbroken before. Like I never been in a relationship. I never have a boyfriend. I never, I don't know how it feels like to have a heartbroken. But apart from like watching the movies, it's just like, wow. I wouldn't say I want that kind of love story because it's, okay, spoiler alert, it's not a happy ending story, but it's just so story. And like you wish that someday you will meet some person who have that kind of love, who love you so much, with like deep love, and oh God, love, and it's so good. You just have to go and read it or watch the movie. Yeah, so I have like a few other books that I want to talk about. I don't have them with me, but I love them so much as well. So if you into Thai books, you can go and look for Happiness of Gati, and it's called ความสุขของ Gati. I think they have like 3 books in total, like ความสุขของ Gati and like something else, but it's amazing. I love it. I read it for the first time when I was in primary school, and I still read it in high school, and I didn't bring them with me, but still sometimes when I go back home and like I'm bored, just like read it again. So I've been reading it for like I don't know, like 20 years. I just love it so much. ความสุขของ Gati. Please go and read that book if you into learning Thai culture and like Thai literature. Is so amazing. And another book that I would suggest is we call ข้างหลังภาพ, and there's also a movie adaptation with the same name, and it's called ข้างหลังภาพ. I think the English translation is behind the paintings or something like that. Like I think like I think it's behind the painting, because ข้างหลังภาพis like we talk about what's happened between a woman who's much older than the guy, and like how their love story is like, and because that woman is already engaged or married. Yeah, she's already married. She has a husband who's much older than her, but she falls in love with the guy who's like much younger than her. And sometimes how I don't know, because maybe like I'm a woman, I can get all the signs and all the subtle messages that she told the guy, but the guy, he never really got it, and at the end he gave up on that love, and it's just only because he couldn't understand all those signs, and he thought that that lady never loved him, but actually he loved him so much. But sometimes, love comes in so many forms. You don't just have to say it. Sometimes there are so many little things that you do, or you say it, but there's no word loves in it, but you just have to get it. But I can understand, like if you were like 20 something and then, like you love someone so much, you have like passion, you're full of like passion and love and lust. So you want to like, you want to understand, you want to know where you stand. But because that lady, he's like, very arrogant and she's like, not very arrogant. I think she's more like, very, very thoughtful. And she's come from like a very good background. And so she doesn't really talk much about her feelings and things like that, but she's give like little subtle message through all the books, but the guys never really gets it. And at the end, there's one very famous quotation from the book, and it says ฉันตายโดยปราศจากคนที่รักฉันแต่ฉันมีคนที่ฉันรัก It means like I die without the person that loved me, but I'm still like happy that I love someone, or I have someone that I love. Like, it's a really lame translation anyway. I'm sorry, but sometimes you just love someone so much and it's go with you till the day you die, but you never really, you don't have a guts, you don't have the courage to say, it's just amazing. Like, I remember I cried a lot as well. It seems like I cried, like, when I read everything, but yeah, it's just true. I love reading, and, I think giving books is a really good Christmas present, and it's like a good present in general, because for me, giving books doesn't just, teach you something different, but also like tells you about the person that gave you the book. I think I learned so much about when I ask my friend, like, what's your favorite books? Like, when we talk about books, and I learned so much, like, what that person thinks, how that person is like, and, like, every book have different stories. When you read it at certain times of your life, you learn different things, you see and different things. That's why I love Little Prince so much, actually, because every single stage of my life when I read Little Prince, I saw different things, and I felt, when I was younger, I more focused on like the love story of the Little Prince and the roads, and after that, when I grew up, I started to feel like actually there's like more aspects to life, like how we grew up and we started to forget how I felt like when we were younger, and like we let our inner child die away without talking to them again, and just like so many things about the book that sometimes that's why even though the books that I read it for so many times, I bought it here and read it over and over again. So if you have like any other favorite books that you think you want to suggest, or you think that I should read, just go on and comment it down below. Or if you want to know more about any book, just like ask me. Or if you want to know any about Thai books, maybe I read it before but I don't have it here, so I already forgot it. So if you want to ask me about those books, just go on. Or if you want to talk about book in general, or you want to get to know me better or anything, ask me about the books that I like, just ask anything. I hope that we can learn from each other from this like vlog, and yeah, we can be friends and like enjoy reading together. So anyway, I had like a reading club that I do with my friends, and we buy the same book and then we read it together, and then we talk about the book together, if that's what you're into as well. Like, actually, I was a little bit shy to tell you guys to join us, but if you want to do that, or you want to do me, then like, no, so improper. You want to do it with me, like, like the reading club. So just like, let me know. Maybe you have like favorite books that, or you saw like any books that you saw at here and you want to talk about the book with me. So feel free to do it. Or if you're into something more like writing, or you like writing any short stories or anything, and you want to send it to me to read them, just like go for it. I'll be very happy to read your piece of work. And if you're like more into like writing letters or postcards, feel free to do that as well. Like, I have like old souls. I love like old school romance. I still sending letters and postcards to my friends. If that's what you're into as well, and you want to like be one of my pen pals, so just let me know and send me your address, and then we can start writing to each other. So yeah, I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, and I'll end the video today. Thank you very much.